Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kazar, and we've got a brand new update with a whole bunch of fixes, a whole bunch of new content, and 3 new species to choose from. So it's a perfect time to jump back in for another run of the Fermi Paradox. I'm super excited to get back into this. If you're new to the channel, this is a fantastic game in which you are creating a universe, sort of like a universal garden that you get to sort of pick and choose, pull the weeds of different civilizations, and sort of build things up as you see fit. Now, for those of you who have been on the channel before, you also know that I do like to roleplay a bit here. I don't always make the choices based on what is absolutely best. I like to make choices based on what makes the best stories. I like to add a little drama to our stories here on the channel. So, that being said, it'll be really interesting to see what kind of species we uncover first, what kind of new drama they can get into, what kind of new events they've added to the game, as well as to see what kind of how these species will interact. I know that they've added a lot of new stuff when it comes to uncovering civilizations that have already existed. So if you have a civilization and it goes extinct and another alien race comes to that planet, they should be able to now find stuff, which was something that was lacking the last time we went through this game, when a lot of people went, or when the Rama Society went to Earth and did not seem to find any remains of humanity there after they had long gone. So it'll be interesting to see what species we find this time, and what species will go extinct, and what species will survive to singularity. So let's go and jump right into our new run-through of the Fermi Paradox. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we found ourselves in our brand new galaxy here. This is awesome. All the planets have moved around. Tau Ceti used to be up here in our last playthrough. So really for the beginning of this, until we have a new society, a new fledgling species to take care of, we're just going to be grabbing some of these motes as we go through. Alright, displacement of ocean currents affects weather systems on Gianna 6. Gehenna 6, not Gianna. A new planet species grows abundant on the surface of Teegarden Prime. Alright, let's get into this. Who do we've got? Sapient life evolves on Vexus. Okay, a new civilization is born. A life form on the garden planet Vexus started making simple tools and developing a rudimentary language. But which species will form a Stone Age civilization in the Vex system? Many were increasingly of the opinion that they'd all made a big mistake in coming down from the trees in the first place. Alright, who do we get to choose from? So we've got 52 synthesis, so we could choose a balanced species, but let's see who we got. What on earth is that? The Baotir, intelligent rock climbing plants. The Baotir clump together on high cliffs competing for sun exposure. That's really interesting. It looks like kind of like a squid almost. What's our unbalanced species? What creepy thing is that? That's like if Slenderman was a dinosaur. What is that? The Dominus. Roaming the low atmosphere planet of Vexus, these stalkers prey on canyon fauna and drain their blood. Oh my god, that is creepy. And then the balanced species. Oh, I think this is the one that they were having a vote for the name on their Discord. So this is the Erbori. Four-legged herbivores that are attuned to echoes and vibrations from very far distances. I kind of like these guys. Four-legged herbivores. I like herbivores. That's good. Also just like the name. And plus, since it was voted on by the fans here, I think we'll go with the Erbori. It's a fun name. It's kind of got an African vibe to it. The Erbori. Let's go for balanced species of the Erbori. Can we? Yes. Oh, that's right. I gotta click the little play button. It's been a while. Okay. It's now home of the Erbori tribes. A complex network of deep canyons stretches across the surface of Vexus. Within this maze, a multitude of ecosystems and climate zones can be found. The Urbori civilization is now born. Let's see here. Let's grab some tech for them. Always grabbing the tech. The Urbori mourn the death of a great wise person. The Vex system. Growth in Vex. Some Urbori worship fertility deities as in long rites that symbolize mating, motherhood, and sexual fortitude. The elaborate rituals involve fruits and herbal infusions that arouse the libido, while drum beats stimulating rhythms and mating partners dance in rapture throughout the night. The resulting wave of procreation could lead to a population surge on Vexus. Bridegroom, let me caress you. My precious caress is more savory than honey. In the bedchamber, honey filled, let me enjoy your goodly beauty. Lion, let me caress you. A Sumerian love poem. So let's see here. We do have synthesis to go with the civilization pillar. Communing with the goddess inspires strong self-confidence and appreciation for the wonders of the Urbori body. The rites give Urbori a deep spiritual connection to the fertility. Sex, pregnancy, and birth are considered sacred. Because other tribes view them as bizarre and perverted, the deity worshippers develop shame and abandon their traditions. So this is exactly what I mean when it comes to role-playing. Just because the numbers say something good or something bad, sometimes the flavor text here can be really convincing as to what they're doing. In this particular situation, I think we're okay with leaving it sort of the middle ground, regular development, because they're still going to get some population increase, but we do want to watch our population increase overall anyway, because having too high a population means that we're going to be eating up our beast herds more quickly. Now this is also new. I see that they have changed the Utopia slider here from it looks like from peace to harm, so it's harm potential. Oh no, Utopia is still down here. Oh, so they just added new identifiers. That's the word I'm looking for. They've added new identifiers to see that this side is more peaceful, whereas this side is going to be more harm, more casualties. So we're on the Utopia side in our ethical values here. Let's go and take the regular development and move forward with the Urbori. Let's see here. This is our ethical side. I think we're going to take a big question mark. The Urbori on Vexus fashion a new type of stone club. Excellent. Alright, the Urbori were famous for the fertility rites that boosted their population. Young Urbori observed the educational and enlightening rituals until Stardown, when they would be sent to their dwellings, though some could be expected to curiously... Oh, dang it. We didn't read it fast enough. Let's see here. So another thing, too, is we could take a hit in order to gain more synthesis. I might go ahead and take a little hit here to harm potential. I think we're doing okay there for now. Powerful new hunting band is formed on Vexus. Where will the gods lead us indeed? So mostly we could just stay with this tribe here until something else happens in the rest of the galaxy and we create a new society that will crop up on another planet. I think let's go ahead and just take a regular synthesis here. New tribes, they're doing so good. We're actually almost close to getting out of the Stone Age. Almost out already. Paradigm shift. Okay. Domestication of small predator animals. Vexus is home to a species of predator with high emotional intelligence and complex social behavior. A beneficial coexistence promises to emerge between these approachable creatures and the Stone Age Urbori, with whom they appear to seek companionship for the benefits of food, petting, and shelter. So we get to decide whether or not they get to have dogs. Alright. Ooh, boy. So on the one side, that would eat up all of our synthesis, but on the other side, we're going to gain tech, peace, utopia, prosperity. Let's see here. The adorable predators are not only safe from the dinner plate, they're also spared from being handled as property. The concept of enslaving these friendly beasts with cages and leashes is unthinkable among the Urbori. I'm getting a sense we're definitely leaning towards a more utopian vibe with this society. They're a peaceful, herb-loving society. So I think I'm going to risk spending the synthesis now. Probably going to bite me in the butt later. Definitely will, I'm sure. But again, the flavor text always makes me lean more towards a certain answer of roleplay. So they're going to have their own little perfect little domestic animals here. And we're probably going to have to take some hits to this in a second so that we can gain some of the synthesis back. The domestication of predatory animals relied on mutual trust between Erebori and their creature companions, who did not respond well to coercion. Over many generations, the pair of species grew inseparable and developed unique ways of interacting with one another and hunting together in teams. That's so nice. I like that. Alright. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and take another hit here from our potential casualties and harm. New technological age. Yes, we've done it. They've reached the Bronze Age. In the Bronze Age, the Erebori begin testing the limits of their planet's generosity by cultivating crops, raising animals for food, and clearing forests in order to build primitive cities. Early mining and metalworking skills allow them to craft better weapons and tools, and they learn how to document knowledge via written language. Excellent. So we're doing pretty good. We've already got them to the next age, but because we don't have the synthesis, we can't choose the wisdom option. But this is interesting because what if we decided to choose the power option? We're only going to gain 5 synthesis from that, though. So the defense becomes increasingly necessary as Erebori begin exerting more power over one another and hunting bands evolve into primitive armies. I don't think that's enough synthesis to warrant this. I mean, granted, it's just a little hit to the harm potential and the ethical values, which would be Utopia. I think we're going to go for advancement instead. New techniques and tools allow the Erebori to explore new areas, preserve their natural resources, and develop early infrastructure. Let's go for that one. Alright, so we're doing okay with these guys so far. A complex network of deep canyon stretches across the surface of Vexus. Within this maze, a multitude of ecosystems and climate zones can be found. I feel like we've already read that. Let's see here. Let's go and take a hit to the... Now we're on metal deposits because we're in the Bronze Age. Let's go and take a little hit to that. So we can start building up what we've got here. So question marks are always a big question mark. Sometimes it gives us extra synthesis, but sometimes it just causes chaos in here. So it's hard to know exactly when to grab those. But tech is always worth grabbing. Let's see here. Let's go and grab a question mark again. Let's see here. Looks like growth has gone up. Alright. Dog realms. Now we've become the dog realms. Uh-oh. Reduction in Vex. Due to the continuous developments within sedentary horticultural communities, more and more beautiful garden complexes are constructed all around Vexus. There is increased interest in the physical and mental well-being that gardens can offer the Erebori. Interesting. When we start to plant trees that never blossom in our lifetime, only then will our hive really grow. That's a very good point. Plant trees that you'll never see the fruit of, so that the future is better. Okay. Actually, we're in a good spot here. So if we do dead end, we gain synthesis, but in this situation, they're actually going... for 0 points, we can actually get the best option. Gardens are seen as an essential part of any healthy society. Every settlement on Vexus is now surrounded by extended beautiful garden structures. Awesome. Okay, let's see here. Since we just gained a whole bunch from that, let's go and take a hit there so that we can gain some synthesis. The number of simple quarries on Vexus increases. Let's go ahead and take a hit here. The Erebori on Vexus fashion a new type of bronze spear. Ooh. The Erebori domesticate a new animal species on Vexus. Oh. There's a new species on Rigel 7. Alright. Lifeform on the ice planet Rigel 7 started making simple tools and developed a rudimentary language, but which species will form a Stone Age civilization in the Rigel system? Alright. Who do we get? I'm familiar with the Rigel system, but let's go and see who we have. Ah, that's right. That's right. That's the Kular here. So obviously we chose the Kular last time. I think we should not choose them this time. We don't have enough for the balanced species, which is the sentient worm creature here. I'm really curious about this unbalanced species. We'll get some synthesis from it. And honestly, when it comes to it, unbalanced species tend to be still okay. It's like yeah, they have some worse stats, but just by choosing the right things, you can correct that pretty quickly. So let's see. For an ice planet, Rigel 7 has a rich diversity of resilient flora. So this is the Dorloth. Sentient and resilient plants. They dwell under the ice and trap other organisms for nutrients. I like it, and I do love that we have in this game all kinds of different life forms, not just mammalian human life forms, kind of like a Star Wars or a Mass Effect where everything is bipedal and looks the same. We've got things from all kinds of life forms. So plant, as we know, is best. So let's go for the unbalanced plant species, the Doroloth. And we'll just hang out with them for a little bit and see where they go. Okay, so let's see here. Should we take... Let's go ahead and add to their ethical values here. Let's fix their dystopia a little bit. They build an astonishing monument on Rigel 7. Alright, they just got started, but we're back to the Urbori Dog Realms. Phalanx Formation. The Urbori march and fight as one after mastering the Phalanx Formation. The battlefield is filled with rectangular formations of disciplined heavy infantry troops brandishing shields and spears. He is a man who keeps his post in the ranks and steadily faces the swift wound the spear may plow. Excellent. Okay. So let's see here. Absolute power. Let's see here. So, for 20 points we could prevent it. The tactic is quickly, jeez, what is that word? The tactic is quickly countered by using light troops to outflank the slow march of the Phalanx, making its use obsolete. Don't really think I want to spend the synthesis just yet. We just got some back. So basic forms of the Phalanx formation bolster the fighting strength of the Urbori, which is going to take a little bit more to the harm potential here, but I think that's manageable. And then for 7, but I don't know, that's 3 higher than, like, we took 1 hit for 2 at 5, so I don't think that 7 is going to be much use to us. The Phalanx becomes a symbol for unified society. I think we're going to go for the regular development. We're going to take a little hit at the cost of no synthesis here. And let's go here. An influential Urbori ruler rises to power on Venus. Let's see here. A once powerful dog realm falls on Venus. Alright, let's go ahead and head back here. Let's take a big look at what we're looking at here. So we've got the Urbori dog realms, and then here we are, the Doroloth tribes. They have no knowledge. Oh, they have no knowledge of alien life. It got cut off on the side there. So let's head back to the Doroloths. I want to check on them and make sure they're doing okay. So let's see here. Let's boost their tech, always. Chemical composition of the ice crystals on Rigel 7 gives the polar caps a greenish color. It also helps that they're hanging out under the ice. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just go for their beast herds, their resources. Question mark. Oh, that took a hit there, but it's upping their tech. Let's see here. Let's go and take a hit to how many of them there are. So there's a bit of territorial dispute going on here. Do the spirits look on to us with kindness? Alright, let's develop these guys. Depopulation in Rigel 7. Ugh, that's never a good sign. Frozen in ice for untold years before Doroloth ever evolved, monsters of an ancient age have thawed and are moving across Rigel 7 to re-establish their reign on the planet. Oh my god. So we've got kaiju attacking them now? Monsters are tragic beings. They are born too tall, too strong, too heavy. They are not evil by choice. That is their tragedy. They do not attack people because they want to, but because of their size and strength. Mankind has no other choice but to defend himself. Interesting. Writer-director of Gojira. Godzilla. Okay, so let's see here. We could completely prevent it for no points whatsoever. I don't think there's any point in trying to go for massive depopulation, because that's not going to help in our synthesis count. The monstrous creatures are surprisingly easy to tame and become popular pets. Oh my god. They're gonna ride around kaiju as like like literally the plants are domesticating Godzilla. It's amazing. Alright, let's go for prevention. Alright, here. Let's go ahead and take a little hit to the ethical values. They fear the ruthless chieftain. I would too. Everyone remembered the day the monsters broke out of the ice and made everyone's lives a lot more wondrous. The colossal beast quickly became a favorite pet of the Doroloth. Alright, the Erebori of a new technological age. They're now in the Iron Age. Empires and trading states rise to power in the Iron Age. The metalworking Erebori forged tools and developed the skills needed to create simple machinery. While expanding theological discourse could provide them with a sense of purpose and a moral compass, organized religion also has the potential to bring about great atrocities. That is very true. Alright. Erebori, what do we got here? We could choose wisdom, advancement, or power. I'm kind of tempted to choose power, just because that's a very nice chunk of synthesis. But let's see what we got. In epic dynasty wars, Erebori iterate siege weaponry against the well-fortified castles of their foes. It gives us... Now, we are getting up here in the potential casualties, so if we do choose this, we're going to want to try to correct that a bit. We're doing okay on Utopia, though, so I think I am going to choose power and take that synthesis in the case of something really bad happening to one of our civilizations. Alright. So we've got, yeah, we just jumped up a ton of potential casualties there, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that, because if something bad were to happen, a lot of them are going to die. Let's see here. Yeah, 22 million of them would die, so we would lose, like, a lot. Okay. Conquer new territories. Let's see here. Let's go for Utopia here. Beautiful ballads are shared among the Erebori on Vexus. Yeah, that's their ballad. Alright, do I want to increase their population? Probably. Probably should. Let's go and increase the population. Just in case potential casualty does come about. I'm waiting for it to give me an option to help them lower that. Actually, it did lower it a bit. Huh, weird. Dorloths. Knowledge in Rigel. Story tattoos. Well, this is interesting for plants to have tattoos. As a rite of passage during adolescence, the Doroloth tattooed their skin with vivid details about the history and knowledge of their people. The art of creating these tattoos is passed down from generation to generation. In Polynesian culture, we have a word called mana, which means power and spirit, is the basis of my tattoo. That's really cool. I didn't know that mana comes from Polynesian. That's really awesome. Okay. So, ooh. For 20, we could totally boost up their tech level. But on the other hand, that's 20... They're going to get their tech level there eventually anyway. We're not in any rush. So for 20 synthesis, that seems like a steep price to pay. Let's go for regular development. The lore embedded in their tattoos help the Doroloth to understand their world and preserve knowledge. Their plant-based inks are only semi-permanent, but the designs are studied for as long as they are visible in order to retain the lessons of their ancestors. Yeah, let's go for that. The Doroloth cherished the art of narrative tattooing. They were known to spend solemn evening hours by the flickering firelight, examining each other's bodies and recounting the traumas and victories of their common past. When the images began to fade, they filled in the details from memory. Wow. All right. Let's see here. I think let's lower their population for the price of some synthesis here. But we're doing okay. The potential casualties are pretty low, and we'll lower them again right now. Doroloth warriors lay down their stone clubs and abandon the art of war. We're just stockpiling this synthesis because I'm so very sure that something bad's going to happen soon, especially to the other planet. Let's go for this one. Let's see here. Let's take a hit. We just added people to take a hit to people, but we're gaining synthesis all the while. Alright, developmental event. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Literally, I was like, we're stockpiling synthesis so that we can avoid something really bad happening. Extinction in Vex. So let's see if we can prevent this. A gigantic underwater earthquake is triggering massive tsunamis on Vexus. Epic floods threaten to drown any creature on land. Oof. Okay. So, what do we do here? We can have a close call for 30. Minimal survivors for 0 or complete extinction. Obviously, I'm not going to go for that one. Gosh, 55. So that we would have like only 0.3 million airborne left. But we would our harm potential would go down. That's the only good thing that would come from that. I say let's go ahead and spend the synthesis, and because it's only going to take half of what we got, and let's divert this entirely. An ancient prophecy said that one day the sea would rise to destroy all wicked sinners. After the first sign of flood, all Erebori abandoned their homes and moved far away from the coast. Interesting. So they've got like a sort of a religious reason to do it. Let's do it. All right. The Erebori praised their prophets who once warned the people against a great all-consuming flood. When the great deluge came, everyone fled to higher lands and survived. Many a folk song has been written about this historical event. Absolutely. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Let's go and take a question mark here. I think we're doing okay as far as resource scarcity is going. Praise the prophets. So we definitely want to lower this, but it's not really giving me an option to lower the harm potential. Of course, it never gives you that when you actually want it. Alright, the Dorloths. They have reached the cultivation age. Oh, this is new. I had heard, I think I remember reading that when certain species get to different ages, they're no longer called the Bronze Age or the Iron Age or whatever. And it's interesting because this is a plant-based society, so they are the cultivation age. I like it. The Dorloth learn to mine simple metals, which they shape into a variety of tools. Using these, they can more easily prune their own growth and till the soil beneath their roots. Oh, that's so weird. So backwards, right? They also begin domesticating and breeding animals, using them as beasts of burden, protection from herbivores, and a source of fertilizing manure. Interesting. The Damanis have long plagued our herds. They are very clever creatures, which makes it great sport to kill them when they attack. Alright, so do we go for wisdom, advancement, or power? I think where we're at, we should go for wisdom. Doesn't cost us anything, and I think that's a really good way for us to kind of rebalance these guys, because they're will add more utopia to their dystopia. The Dorloth begin keeping records, creating the first system of writing. Making markings with their own sap, they keep detailed logs of the flora and fauna on Rigel 7. That's so interesting. So they're writing in their own blood, I guess? Technically, I mean, it's sap, but it's plant blood. Let's be real. Alright. The research of a remarkable sage is encoded into sophisticated tattoos, which grow popular among the Dorloth. Let's go and take a hit to their deposits. So resource scarcity, actually, you probably want to watch that, because we're hitting resource scarcity in 1,000 years. Alright. Erebori, a great war threatens the Vex. Oh god. Now what? A dominant religious faction of the Erebori is claiming the right to invade a distant Holy Land. They gather many allies to challenge the alleged heathens who live in the divine country of Vexus. Armies of volunteer peasants and honor-bound knights, swelling with pious pride and bearing sacred symbols on their banners and armor, thus embark on a glorious pilgrimage. I, or rather the Lord, beseech you as Christ heralds to publish this everywhere, and to purse all people of whatever rank, foot soldiers and knights, poor and rich, to carry aid promptly to those Christians, and to destroy that vile race from the lands of our fiends, or of our friends, moreover Christ commands it. Ooh. Religious wars, not good. So let's see here, we could create peace at the price of 30 synthesis. The holy people of different faiths meet a great council and negotiate an end to a crusade. We could have regular conflict. How many? Gosh, 6.4 million casualties is the option of total war. The only problem is that there's literally no benefit to this, right? I mean, we gain 10 synthesis, but if we think about it, we would have gained 5 synthesis from only 2 of these things being changed. So it doesn't seem like the cost is worth the price there. So we'll take a little hit here for no synthesis, and I think we'll be able... it will be better for it. We'll take some casualties, because our casualties are at 2.1 million right now. But it won't be as bad as it could be. After many years, the invaders are repelled and return home empty-handed. The long crusade costs many lives. People have got to learn. Urbori culture was rife with lore about a bloody crusade to conquer holy lands. For one side, this was an inspiring tale of righteousness. For the others, it was a story of occupation and sacrilege. In the end, the latter were able to purge their lands of the barbaric invaders who saw themselves as pilgrims. It's a big misunderstanding, isn't it? Alright, so let's go ahead. I want to lower the casualty rate here, because if we get hit again, we're going to be losing half of our population right off the bat. Let's up our utopia here. Let's up our tech level. Let's see here. Will the Sea of Vexus rise again and destroy our high cities? Potentially. There we go, we got a little bit of a lowering for our harm potential here. Let's go and take that again. Oh, that's going to be good. Conflict between 2 major Urbori dog domains is settled peacefully. Uh-oh, there's injustice in Rigel. Traditionally, the elderly are highly respected in Rigel. Now that larger Dorloth groves are formed, the authority of the elders is put into law. The oldest could be chosen as speakers, not because of their wit or skill, but simply because tradition demands it. Interesting. Okay. So we can prevent this. Respect for the elderly does not automatically give every Dorloth elder the right to rule over others. In general, speakers are still being chosen based on merit. For some groves become fanatical what the heck is that word? Gerontorosities with varying degrees of success. Others decide on auxiliary methods to choose their speakers. Again, a huge hit for not very much synthesis. But I don't think that spending 20 just to prevent this is really worth it. So let's take a little hit to the dystopia here, in order to keep our synthesis strong. Do other creatures like us exist in lands far away? Let's see. Do I want... yeah, I do want to increase their... yeah, I do want to increase the amount of utopia is happening here, so we're going to focus on that. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and take some resources, because I think we've got only 800 years on this, so that's not good. We should probably be focusing on that. Let's see here. Let's go and take a hit to the amount of people there are, because that's going to help our resource scarcity as well. Alright, new technological age for the Urbori. They've reached the nautical age, ladies and gentlemen. The Erebori developed vessels capable of exploring the farthest corners of their planet. The flourishing traffic of goods and ideas advances the fields of navigation, chemistry, and engineering. To safeguard the accumulated knowledge of Erebori civilization, emerging universities begin to house collections of printed books. Okay. So, what do we do with this new age? Do we gain wisdom, advancement, or power? That's a lot. Ooh. Yeah, but that's another problem because our potential casualties is still growing exponentially high. So I don't think, even though that's really tempting to take the synthesis for that, we are very close to how many people would die in the case of a catastrophic event. So I think we're going to go and take wisdom and try to keep our utopia on the up and up here. The discovery of new lands and peoples inspires the Erebori to re-examine social and scientific principles. An age of enlightenment, if you will. Okay, so we're hoping that we can find a way to lower these casualties. Alright, new technological age with the Dorloths. They are now in the pollination age. I'm loving these new ages. This is great. Because why would plants have a bronze and iron age, right? Advanced metalworking techniques make it possible to maintain large soil fields and create effective weapons to fend off fauna. Most importantly, pollinating insects are now domesticated, sparking a social revolution of directed reproduction. Interesting. You're domesticating like bees, I guess. That's also a very interesting thing to think about as a human looking at a plant way of reproduction. Is like, if you're a sentient plant, you have to send a pollinator to go essentially have sex for you. That's bizarre. It's bizarre to think about it that way. The lovely flowers embarrass me. They make me regret I'm not a bee. Emily Dickinson. Okay, what do we got? Should we take the wisdom? No, that's so expensive. Should we take power, though? I'm kind of tempted to do so. Selective breeding creates a warrior class bristling with thorns and protected by thick bark. Lethal leafcutter insects are domesticated for use in battle. Oh, that's kind of epic. That's kind of epic. I think I'm going to have to choose that one. I think we look a little bit different here too. Or is it just my imagination? I'll have to check that back when I edit this, if that actually changed the look of them at this point. After respect for elders has been established into law, several groves adopted to gerontocracy, only replacing their speakers when they died. Other groves enacted additional conditions for rulership, including mental and physical fitness, education, and wealth. Okay. They can increase their size of their orchards now. Ooh, Dorloths use scriptures to spread lies and superstition. Hey, we have a new species coming up. We're just popping off here. Sapient species evolved on Tau Ceti 3. Ah, for those of you who are a fan of the last series we did, we all know what lives on Tau Ceti. A life form on the swamp planet of Tau Ceti 3 started making simple tools and developed rudimentary language. Who the heck is going to be on Tau Ceti? So, let's see here. Our balanced species. Hello, Rama. So this is what we had before. This is our loved Rama. But of course, that is a lot of synthesis. We don't have that. We don't really want to spend that on that. So let's see what else we've got. Ooh, we've got these guys, the Odo, which are aggressive ape creatures in colorful fur. Their packs traverse mountainous regions with ease. So they're kind of cool looking. Kind of a like a spider ape. Really bizarre. Okay. Oh, dang. And then we have the Maru. So these ones are... Both of these are creatures that are shown a lot in the promotional materials for the game. So I've seen the Maru around a lot. They're sneaky, sightless, and cruel. These bands of small raptors plague the vast jungle forests. Oh, gosh. I think I'm going to have to choose the Maru. It's very interesting, though, because they don't really have meat-eating mouths. They have incisors. So... I guess, I mean, technically omnivorous, but it's also really weird that all the meat-eating teeth, all the sharp teeth are in the back, which usually that would be in the front for tearing, like in humans or in bears, that we have our canines in the front and our incisors in the front. I guess technically they have incisors. Alright. So let's go for the Maru. Now we have 2 unbalanced species in our universe here. This is going to be fun. We might have some weird conflicts coming up in our future. On Tau Ceti 3, the Maru civilization is born. Alright, so let's go ahead. Do we want peace? Do we want people? Or do we want resources? Let's go for peace. Or I should say, less casualties. The storytellers of Tau Ceti 3 inspire the Maru to live peacefully. Alright, how are the Urbori doing? We got 2 kind of dinosaur-looking societies here. Grazing herds. As wealth grows, so too does the taste for meat among the Urbori. Really? The completely herbivorous society has a craving for meat now. I don't know if I like that. Livestock farming becomes widespread, using up more and more fertile land that could be used for growing crops. Clearing land risks losing valuable biodiversity, and soil quality suffers from the great herds of animals. Ugh. Man is the only creature that consumes without producing. He does not give milk, he does not lay eggs, he is too weak to pull the plow. He cannot run fast enough to catch rabbits, yet he is lord of all the animals. He sets them to work, he gives back to them the bare minimum that will prevent them from starving, and the rest he keeps for himself. Ooh, that sounds like Animal Farm to me. Alright. So let's see here. We can prevent it for 20 synthesis. Aware of the long-term risks, Urbori academics promote sustainable grazing techniques for the livestock. Destruction of wild areas is kept under control, and agricultural lands become more fertile than ever. Well, it doesn't keep them as herbivores. I'm a little bummed that they're not staying as herbivores, but I guess that's the next best thing, is that we can prevent the destruction at the cost of all of the animals that they're eating. Alright, let's prevent it for 20. Alright, good. Let's go ahead and lower these casualties. Urbori musketeers lay down their gunpowder muskets and abandon the art of war. By reducing overall livestock numbers and preventing the clearing of wild areas, the Urbori managed to indulge their taste for flesh without irrevocably damaging the planet. Kind of how us humans need to learn how to do that. Let's see here. Do we want to deal with resources? Let's do a random one. Resources are going down, but tech is going up. Let's see here. Should we... Yeah, we should not lower the population given the potential casualties here. So let's go for a regular synthesis here. Praise the prophets! Let's go for Utopia. I think we're doing okay with these guys. We just need to watch these potential casualties. Let's take the tech. And here we are. Developmental event. Come on, Doroloths. Enlightenment. I like the sound of this. The culture of the Doroloth has always valued physical closeness as a way to stay warm in the bitter cold of Rigel 7. Now, however, writers begin to see how this physical togetherness also builds emotional attachments, an intimate bond that improves the life of every Doroloth. Interesting. The effects of 6 months of total social isolation were so devastating and debilitating that we had assumed initially that 12 months of isolation would not produce any additional decrement. This assumption proved to be false. 12 months of isolation almost obliterated the animals socially. Eesh, kind of reminds me of 2020. Luckily, we had a way to, talk to each other. Alright, so let's see here. So for 20, we can have Civilization Pillar. We can add to our Utopia. Over time, this practice allows the Doroloth to expand their feelings of empathy and love to encompass all living beings. I like the sound of that. That might be good to, cause but for 20 though, that's a high price to pay for just 3 pips in the right direction. Cause I'm still very aware that that there's gonna be a nasty event that's gonna happen to somebody, so I kind of want to save the synthesis for that. So, this intimate behavior is reserved only for close communities. Foreign orchards are still distrusted and regarded as other. Ooh. don't like the sound of that. So this is where the flavor text always gets me. I really want to lean more towards spending the synthesis just because I like the idea of the Dorloth expand their feelings of empathy and love to encompass all living beings. I think that sounds so much nicer. So let's see this as a growth opportunity for these originally unbalanced creatures and let them hug. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's a great time to take a pause here. We now have three, count them, three societies. Let's see, we got the Erburi, we've got the Dorloth, and we've got the Maru tribes that are all flourishing and doing well so far. I don't want to jinx it. But as we move forward, how will they be able to contact each other? That in and of itself is the Fermi paradox. How can society, civilizations, creatures all live in the same universe and not know that each other exists? Well, we're going to see how they can contact each other in the future. So if you've enjoyed this video and would like to see the series as it progresses, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of new videos. Tomorrow I'm actually going to be putting up a brand new playthrough of Rogue Lords, which is launching tomorrow. So if you saw the demo on my channel from ages ago at this point, I'm really excited to get back into that game, into the full release of it. So definitely come back to the channel and check that out. Like this video so that it starts to show up in the YouTube algorithm so people can start to find my videos and watch them. And as always, folks, I will see you in the next game.